Fleshwater, the Razor's Apple, Standard Tuning Method, Guitar Tabs, and Guitar Lesson. Alright, so just doing a standard tuning interpretation here. They'll, of course, be in there, a baritone or drop B, but I'm just kind of swapping for a standard method here. And I think to do that and make it sound pretty good, we use these compounded power chords, which I think work pretty well. So if you're just trying to, hang out in standard tuning, I got you covered here. I suppose if this gets a good enough response, we could try some of the exotic drop B stuff. But for just starters here, this just right out the gate verse that jumps in, we're starting with that big compounded B power chord. So we'll start here with the 2A, 4 on the D and G. Then we're going to throw in that extra low F sharp octave. So we got the 2E, 2A, 4D, 4G. And that's kind of like the power chord compounding look that we're looking for here. So, instead of just having our regular B, now we throw that low F sharp on top. Gets it a little bigger, a little fatter. So, little compensation there for not having the drop. So, the strumming on it, we just start with 1, 2, little hesitation, 1, 2, 3, hesitate a little bit, 1, 2, 3. Alright, and then we do this octave walk up, and it'll be a C sharp to D, so go 4A, 6G, hit that a couple times up to the 5 and 7, and that'll lead us into our more or less compounded D power chord there. So we'll have a 5 on the A, the 7 on the D, and then throw in the low A octave on top with the 5E. But with this, we want to have this major vibe, this major 13, which it turns out to be, on the 6 of the G. Alright, so we'll have 5E, 5A, 7D, 6G. And we just kind of start by hitting that much of it. Alright, and then we hit that, little hesitation, hit it again, and then right afterwards we'll hit basically that 6G with an open B and E string. Alright, and that's kind of like the feel that we want for this, like a... Alright, and then we give 2 strums on the low part of the chord, back to a strum of the high part, and essentially repeat that right there 3 times. Couple strums of the low part to the high, couple strums of the low to high, do that 3 times. Okay, so slowly here, just the whole thing. Alright, and moving on to, I guess you would call this the chorus. Next section, anyway. That same B compounded power chord with the 2E, 2A, 4 on the D and G. And with this, not really like a staccato style or anything like that. We're just kind of like strumming away on it about 6 times. Okay, and then we move to this A octave at the 5E, 7D. Just a couple on that. To the E octave at the 7A, 9G. Hit it once, little hesitation, a couple more. And then just right into a big D compounded, so 5 on the E and A, 7 on the D and G. And with this, we're just strumming right away on it, 8 note style, couple measures. Do that first part again, the B to the octaves. And we end it the second time through by jumping over to a F sharp power chord at the 2E, 4 on the A and D. Strum that out 8 times. And then just back to the D power chord at the 5, 5, 7, 7. Hit that and just let it ring. Alright, and then this bridge section, we get a little more of these just like sus2 vibes. We still want to keep it big, so we'll be throwing in kind of the compounding bass note on top. Alright, so we want this A sus vibe, so we'll have the open A, 2D and G, open B, and then we'll throw in the open low E on top just to try to fatten it out. Okay, and with this, it's just kind of a 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, to the B with the F sharp, so 2, 2, 4, 4, and then you can throw in the 2 on the B just to get that sus2 in there. Same kind of strum. Type of deal. F sharp sus, so you can do 2E, 4A. You can reach over and hit the 6 on the D there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. To the D sus, so 5, 5, 7, 7 with the 5 on the B. Finish it out. Alright, and essentially just repeat the whole thing again, but once we hit that first strum of the D sus, just hit it once and let it ring. And now this outro section, I chose this kind of interesting shape here because we want that same compounded B vibe, so we'll use a 2E, 2A, but we kind of need this a certain few notes in like an open strum. It's a G sharp with the C sharp here and an open high E, so to get that shape, I like to do this. We go 2E, 2A, I skip the D, and then we go 1G, 2B, open high E. And it's basically just hit the low, strum the high, hit the low, strum the high. Alright, and now we want a D, and then we'll put the A on top of that and use those same kind of open strum notes there. So we just do the open A, open D string, and then the same deal, hit the low, strum the high. And basically we just bounce between those two chords just like that, and then at the very end we hit the final compounded B power chord of the 2, 2, 4, 4, and just let it ring out.